Um, First, a quick word from our sponsors over at GLD Shop. GLD link is in the description. Cop yourself a chain, ice yourself out. I don't know why I accidentally put taco up. Fuck, let's go, dilly dilly, y'all. We about to have a fun ass AMA. I can already tell.
Hop out in Miami with no land, ain't got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, no turn me on, you can't understand. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, don't want zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good bring her where you're not.
You just gotta make the steak face when that commercial plays. Just like you just you whether you even if you haven't gotten a GLD chain yet, that ad plays and you feel like you are already iced out. You feel like you are on the yacht. Big ball and taco. How's it going tonight, bro?
It's going good, brother. It's going good. Just put the sun down. This is why AMA and Rumboyz After Dark, I'm on time, but for the Giants game, I'm late. You see the time? Let's finish with him.
No,
that's was calling me out in the chat last time. Just know your role, guys. Know your role, okay? I gotta be daddy first, okay?
Sit down, shut up, and know your role. I also want to shout out to Monkey Knife Fight, promo code Rumboyz for all of your daily fantasy player prop needs. Get on over to Monkey Knife Fight. Again, that is Monkey Knife Fight, promo code Rumboyz, available on iOS and Android for all of your daily fantasy player prop needs. Get a 100% match on your very first deposit, all the way up to $100 whenever you use promo code Rumboyz on monkeyknifefight.com or on the Monkey Knife Fight app. Again, available on iOS and Android. I would also love to shout out our homies over at All22, promo code Rumboyz, of course, for 40% off the subscription price. Get in on the latest, greatest, the newest fantasy football format, fantasy football platform. That is All 22, powered by Pro Football Focus. Pro Football Focus bringing you All 22, the Madden franchise mode, if you will, of fantasy football formats. If you feel like you're a guru, get on over there to All 22. Also want to shout out Champions Round. Play our daily dozens. Get 12 props right out of 12 on a $12 entry. Win 2,400. Let's go. That's not bad. Like for real, for like when you think about like the amount of things that you probably place $12 or more on, like betting wise, you know.
Listen, I give DraftKings probably $5 to $20 every Sunday on my 12, 13 team parlays. And I do that. I know probably aren't gonna hit, but it's like a lottery ticket. You got to put that shit in, especially on a Sunday.
Pat, link is in the chat. Oh, there he is.
Hey.
What's good, St. Pat? St. Pat FF is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
St. Pat. All I gotta say, St. Pat, fuck Christian Watson this week. Fuck St. Pat.
Okay.
I'm worried about him. Like, I'm worried about him.
Do what you gotta do.
In two leagues, I'm facing Dalvin Cook, Josh Jacobs, and I think it's like Keenan Allen or George Kittle, all in the same fucking league, and I'm just like, this is either going to be really good or really bad.
Why are you worried about what your opponent's doing? Put your best lineup out.
You know why?
Oh, yeah, at this point, you should not be worrying about what your opponent is doing.
Tyler Lockett, motherfucker.
So what?
Last week I had all the highest scores in the league.
Yeah.
Most of my teams were on by. And I'm going into this week down Jalen Hurts.
Oh,
down some pieces.
I have that.
But you know what? We're keeping our head high. We led the league in points for a reason.
All right,
we're going to get the bag.
Pat, we are on the opposite side of the spectrum. I'm a reverse jinxer in the fullest order. I'm going.
That's not good. That's not good.
I'm coming from a forever fourth finisher.
I tell you, no lie. In my big league, I was losing. I was getting crushed. I had Diggs. I had Andrews. I had another dude that bust. I started telling my opponent, "You won, congratulations. Let me pay y'all out because I ain't winning." Next thing you know, Godwin went off, and then fucking Saquon went off, and then Stevenson went off, and I'm like, I'm winning.
That's how I lost my big league last year. Tyler Huntley went off on my taxi squad. I was close to pulling him up. I started Russell Wilson instead. Russell Wilson. Everyone else shit the bed.
Shit. I have no clue what I'm gonna fucking do with Jalen Hurts. I'm pretty sure a couple of people have that issue because they're floating. He might play, but we know he's probably not going to play. But
he's not. I realistically, you can't expect that man is going to play.
It's a pain tolerance issue.
Yeah,
but there's no need for it. So let's talk suitable options to replace Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, so let's definitely get it that. I mean, suitable options realistically. I mean, if you're missing, any quarterback right now, a shit ton of them are out. I feel like should Brock Purdy play?
Of course,
Brock Purdy is that should be your automatic go-to. That should be your automatic pivot. That should realistically be where your mind is at if you're looking for a replacement.
Who do you have other than my Glock Purdy?
My Glock Purdy. Oh.
you have an extreme bias towards this man, so give me someone else.
For those that don't get that reference, listen to some old school Rick Ross. Like you'll be able to understand it. You'll be able to get it. Outside of Brock Purdy, I mean, I feel like Minshew's just such a long shot. It's been so long since the last time that we've seen him play. But Minshew's a game manager, and he can be a baller, but he can also, very much like a Baker Mayfield, he can give you a really good outing, and then he can shit the bed. You don't know. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, and that's what happens if you try and play a Gardner Minshew. I don't think that Gardner Minshew is a suitable enough backup for you. Even though this isn't a new look offense, and we've seen what he's done when he's had some pretty decent offensive weapons.
He's never had weapons like he has now.
I'm gonna throw out a name. Tell me what you think. Daniel Jones. Yes. Daniel Jones is currently the QB 11 on the season.
Of course, he's a QB1.
He's a tail end QB1, but no one's treating him like that.
No, Taco, go stop it.
He is
as a suitable.
He's QB 11 on the season. Continue.
So, he's got the wheels. He's mobile. He can make it happen. He can turn a 12-point game into a 20-point game with his legs. Going against the Vikings, who have a terrible secondary and are struggling
Robbie.
That are struggling against the pass.
Say it.
There's that.
Say it.
It's not gonna be pretty.
Say it.
You're not gonna want to watch Daniel Jones play for you. You're gonna at the end of
what I worry about that. What I worry about that is Minnesota deciding we're going to try and play you close. Okay, we're deciding we're just all we're going to do is just stop the run, and we'll give up the pass. Excuse me, and that's really where I get a little bit discouraged.
Even there, what is Minnesota playing for?
Yeah,
Minnesota's already got their division. They don't really have much of a chance at the bye.
And there's also that I'd be willing to roll out a Daniel Jones.
If you lost Kyler or you lost why
you're not
Lamar, like throw him
with
out.
The way that the format with the way that the landscape is this year, especially at the quarterback position, especially if you're in like a 2 QB league, beggars really can't be choosers right now.
Yep, 100%.
Like beggars really can't be choosers right now. Are you able to see in the YouTube chat if there's chats popping up?
I was in a minute ago. There's one.
There's leaves. I know that two of our people ended up somehow mysteriously shadow banned, and that's Weeds and George. We're not able to see George's comments as of late.
What? Shadow banned for what?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah, so I'm actually messaging him now. And I'm letting him know, like, hey, we're live. What?
No, that's funny. That was funny, my friend.
I have a feeling that they're not sending out our notifications. Like MJ came in, like he was like, what? Like he was like, what the fuck? Like y'all are live right now? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I didn't get a notification. And he was in, and he got the notification for the previous stream.
All right. So while we wait for the people to join, I have a question for you.
Leafs, I think that they are in YouTube's algorithm shadow banned. Not
It's a YouTube algorithm thing. It's not a us thing.
Who would you rather
It's a
start?
YouTube thing.
The Tennessee defense versus Houston this week, or would you rather start the Cleveland defense versus New Orleans this week, and Olave might be out?
Anyone against Houston, I feel like you kind of gotta play that, right? Like I feel like that's somewhere you gotta go. Tennessee's defenses came along ever since last time that they had played Kansas City and looked pretty decent in that matchup. They've looked a lot better. Them against Houston, I love it. The way that Houston plays on offense, that low, slow, we're going to hit you with the run clock, keep time of possession in our control. Doesn't create a whole lot of opportunities to where Mills gets a lot of opportunity to be able to pass on and to be able to come back. I think they could. I mean, what you're really worrying is that please Tennessee don't allow 21.
Well,
I'm concerned of if they're able to possess the ball with Malik Willis under center.
That's an interesting perspective.
What does time of possession look like? Yes, it's Derrick Henry versus the Texans, and you can expect your 202 touchdowns. But what does that look like if they know that Malik Willis has thrown the ball less than 10 times?
And remember this, versus Dallas, it was 23-27. Dallas had to come back at the very end to win that game. Versus Kansas City, it was 30-24. Kansas City had to come back at the end of that game to win it. So right now, since Davis Mills was put back as the starter, Texans offense has been performing better.
And they're going to. He was like out of that draft class. He was the more NFL ready guy. The Texans just don't have the pieces around that makes him to where he can be a very fruitful option for them. I would still be willing to risk it to get the biscuit just because it is Houston.
100%. I think they're a must start defense this week, but I'm just tempering a little bit of expectations.
Yeah.
I would definitely temper your expectations, though. I mean,
that's
I'm not expecting them to start the game with 10 and end with 10. Like, they'll be in the neighborhood of about 7 points. I feel like. Somehow I have a stack lineup: Garrett Wilson, Zay Jones, Mike Williams, Pittman, Olave, pick 3. Dude, for me, the 3 here is probably gonna be the first 3.
The only issues that I have is you're going to have to watch to see what the weather conditions are in New York tomorrow, because from what I'm hearing is that it could be a rainy, wet game. Zay Jones is going to have a difficult matchup this week. I've been riding Zay Jones, as we all know, here for a minute. I'm a little worried this week. It's hard to bench him, though, based off his production lately. As much as we're worried, as much as we hate it, this is the worst part about the playoffs. You can't bench your studs unless you have that really big gut feeling, and this way you can't get mad at yourself because you had the gut feeling.
But to your point, there are about 11 bad weather projected games.
Yeah,
potentially.
Are the Colts home? Because then they'd be in the dome, and that kind of gives you Wilson.
Right.
I think Wilson is another one where you got to look at where it's you're probably going to start him no matter what, because your options really aren't as great. But with the bad weather and with Zach Wilson now being under center instead of Mike White, that's another one where you kind of have to be a little bit.
Something's not right.
Same thing with Michael Pittman. I'm nervous about Michael Pittman this week with Nick Foles throwing in the ball. We haven't
Something's not right.
We haven't seen Nick Foles in a meaningful football game in 2 years? And
how does he not get a shot before this stuff? I don't get how bad is
I feel like he's.
Wait, what do you mean? How does he not get a shot before this? He's What the fuck type of question was that?
Some respect on Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles. He's still better than probably at least 5 starting quarterbacks out here.
No. He had a great defense when he was able to make that run. Why do people why do people do this? You see, you guys.
He bowled.
So what? But that is one award. That is winning one award.
He got them there too. It's not like he didn't play great.
He did not get them there. He sustained and helped get them there. He did not do it all himself. Stop it.
But you know what?
Stop it. That is a discredit. Hold on. No, because I'm stopping you right the fuck there. That is a serious. No. That is a serious stop it. Taco, stop it. For real. That is a serious discredit to everyone else that fucking put in work for that team. For real. That is a serious disrespect. That is a spit and a fucking slap to every single Philadelphia Eagle that was on that team.
You're disrespecting how good Nick Foles was during that run.
How?
Yes, he had a little bit.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm giving him credit for being a part of that. I am not giving him the full credit. You are trying to give him the full credit.
If Geno Smith can come back from nothing to be a Pro Bowler, how is
he not? Geno Smith is still not the full 1-2 credit. You still have to credit everyone else.
Not saying no, but who made the Pro Bowl? Everyone else or Geno Smith?
That's not that. But that's again, that is not, especially when you're a bad winning player in a vacuum. That's not that. No, bro. Hell no.
That they put out there that's been so much better than him. Nobody. They've not put out.
Bro, they've all been the same. You're sitting here, you're trying to argue that if it's even better, they've all been the same guy. They're all the same guy.
Right.
If you put any one of them else behind that Philadelphia offensive line during that year, they would have all done the fucking same thing.
But this year, I mean, I'm just gonna say, don't write Nick Foles off like he's got.
It's not about writing him off, but you're not gonna sit here and make a claim that he was the only reason why Philadelphia. It's like, whoa. That was the number one. That was a number one defense. That was a top fucking defense.
It's shocking that
without JT. That Colts offense isn't much to talk about. Nick Foles isn't putting up 300 yards. Michael Pittman's not putting up 100 yards this week. That team, it's going to be rough.
Anyways, going back to what I was saying, something's definitely not right. I'm going to have to try and look into this. People aren't getting notifications lately. People aren't able to comment lately. Yeah, so
that's crazy.
It's been really weird. It's been really weird. Drop your questions. I know it's a big week for everyone.
Yep.
It's a big week for everyone. Lamar doesn't care about my feelings, so Danny Dimes or Carr this week. No player cares about your feelings. Let's just establish that now. they care more about their bodies and sustaining careers. Danny Dimes or Carr. I would probably go Carr.
Danny motherfucking Dimes.
Carr's gonna give you a higher opportunity to put up points. If he gets into a garbage time situation, he has a higher opportunity of giving you the points. I would go with the Raiders. The Raiders are fighting for something.
What are the Giants aren't?
The Giants don't put up the same point totals, and Danny Dimes isn't going to put up the same numbers that Carr is.
Yes, but the rushing floor of that Danny
Dimes. You did not just say yet. You just said it. You did not just leave that off with the yes.
Yes, you're right. They don't score as much as the Raiders.
What are the Raiders fighting for?
They're fighting for a shot.
They're outside. They're outside of the wild card.
They're at the 1%.
Yeah, truthfully.
And I think it's like 32% or like 36%. Like it's actually there's a shot. Like it's a shot in the fucking dark. Like if you were blindfolded, standing right in front of a 50-meter target, and still couldn't hit it, like that's what they're doing.
Currently a 6% chance.
6%? Is it 6?
6%, according to the New York Times. And that's needing everything to go right.
Okay, it's 6.
And remember this: Daniel Jones has more points than Derek Carr in the season. Pat, what was Daniel Jones' quarterback ranking this year?
He's currently QB 11.
11.
I would roll with Carr. I would roll with Carr. Carr also had a rough start. You put it in their last 7 games, you're probably looking at different numbers. I would probably roll Carr. Okay. I love that the fantasy footballers put it like this. You are at a point in the season where you should not be looking at, with these last 2 matchups this week and next week, you need to be playing a very drastically different game. You need to be playing the game of what have you done for me lately, and not the game of, well, this person's, QB1 on the, you play that game your first, honestly, you should be, that type of style of thinking should be maybe done like your first 4 weeks, for 5-6 weeks, and then after that, you should be like, okay, like it doesn't matter about name value of starting this player. It doesn't matter about this or that. Like at a certain point, those things should not matter. All of that type of shit, toss it out. Toss it out.
Yes, and we run into the number of pieces you have potentially available to you is so small right now.
So thin.
So in a DFS lineup, probably a Carr versus Daniel Jones is going to be a toss-up. I think we can both agree that we could see going either way no matter what.
I need to make it to a championship.
If I have Devontae Adams on my team, I'm smashing Derek Carr and going for that stack and hoping I get 2 touchdowns and 125 yards for Adams and double counting him with Carr.
Oh, well, in that case, I mean, you have to. Like at that point, it's a championship week. You can't fuck around with the fuck arounds. I would like for me. I'm probably no, and it's the most Raiders shit ever to pull out some late season miracle to find a way to sneak in. Even if they lose, they will still put up 27, 28 fucking points, which is weird because they suck.
I hope the Raiders win, at least for the sake of next week, their players having something to play for.
That's honestly what you're hoping for. That's for real for what you're hoping for. Need 2 wide receivers and a flex, so 3. We're picking 3, but 2 receivers for sure. Juju, Judy, Dylan, Pittman, Sutton, Olave, Pacheco, White, Moss. The thing with Olave is we're waiting to find out if he's healthy.
Yep. Damn, this is tough. Not that many great options.
So barring what we say Friday night and barring what we say Sunday morning, I think that it's fair for me to not include Olave in anything that I say on a Wednesday night.
Yeah. If he's healthy, he plays.
I don't. I don't know. I could say this. I'm willing to rock Dylan in the flex. Pittman and Juju can rock out pretty fine for me. I'm willing to flex Dylan.
Which White is that?
Fucking Rashad.
With Fournette back, it's a little weird.
Huh?
I said with Fournette back, it's a little weird there.
That's why I can't go Rashad White. And honestly, I think that Bucks team is on its way to fucking implode. Like these last couple of games, I think that they implode and they let the Panthers go in and take that thing.
I think I want Pacheco in my flex over Dylan. But I think you're going a running back in your flex this week with these options.
Zach Moss sucks.
24 carries for 80 yards. He didn't do anything.
Bro, the fact that you needed 24 to hit 80.
But the fact he got 24.
But I've never seen Zach Moss break one off.
I agree.
Bro, and I need, like, in fantasy, especially in the semifinals and the championship, yeah. I need that. I can't, like, at least give me some TDs, Dylan will at least get me 50 in a TD, or maybe even 2. I'll risk it for that.
I mean, Dylan did go 20 points in week 1, and then he didn't score double digits again until week 12. But since week 12, he scored 17, 20, 22. It's kind of hard to bench AJ Dillon. Like that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's why I'm going Dylan.
Yes, Dylan is your for sure lock. Then, I mean, you could debate between Juju, Michael Smith, and that's Pittman. And I think if Olave plays, I'm probably playing him over one of those two.
See, I worry about Pittman because it's Nick Foles, but like I feel like because of your limited options, like Pat was talking about, you can't hyper focus on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you don't get an option to really hyper focus on
I think you're hoping that between
Olade's healthy,
that you pick the one that doesn't get shadowed by Ramsey, even though Ramsey's ass this year. Like, it's.
You see, Sauce Gardner was like, it's completely disrespectful that I wasn't targeted once. I was like, bro, most corners don't want the ball thrown at them. Single QB, T-Law or Geno? Huh.
That's so tough. With
T-Law, you're asking, can you do what you've been doing? And is what you've been doing sustainable? You're really asking a question of sustainability.
And let's piggyback with this. It's a short week for him because they're playing on Thursday, and he's been having the foot injury, which doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Maybe it's just a little bit sore. With that being said, I probably lean to Geno because he has a better matchup versus Kansas City after we just saw what Davis Mills did. I know there's going to be down Lockett, but you still got DK.
I fuck with that.
I would play with Geno versus Kansas City more than Law versus the Jets because the Jets are a solid defense.
Kansas City's more inclined to play down to competition that they're not supposed to. And in games like against like a Seattle, I could see KC just shoving it up their pie hole for straight up. Like I could see KC being like getting pissed off about what happened last week against Houston and be like, yeah, we're not letting that happen again for the rest of the heading into the playoffs. That's where I get worried. I feel like if T-Law is playing, I'd probably play T-Law.
Say it, Pat.
I was going to say, we've seen that from KC quite a bit this year in the first half where they come out and they just lay the hammer down, and then they give up 21 to 28 points in the second half in that garbage time.
Yep.
That's such a concern. Is they can put that?
Is Geno gonna do that? Like, is Geno like that GTQB? Like, not as of recent. Not as of recent. He is a pro. Look. Let's get off the Pro Bowl thing. The Pro Bowl is also accumulation of everything throughout the whole year. Look at his last 6 or 7.
Geno
Payne made this point last week Friday. He's been falling off of a cliff slowly.
Hold on. Let me go.
The more that the pressure's coming, the more that it's that, hey, we're asking you to go and get us into the playoffs. The more that that's being asked, the more that
the numbers don't back that up. The fantasy points do not back that up.
Yeah, I agree. 15, 20, 22, 19.
So, going back to week 8.
And T-Law and T-Law in his last 2-3?
21.
3-4?
20.3, 25, 21 and a half, and he had 15 last week against San Francisco.
Yeah. And he has a better matchup.
He's giving you 21 every single week.
Yeah. And he has a better matchup. And he's been doing it recently. And if you're talking about playing for something, that dude is playing for the playoffs. If they lose, they're probably out.
Start Geno. And when Kansas City gets after him because they're pissed off about Houston,
all that means is they're going to keep scoring. That's going to keep giving Geno shots. That's a negative game script. That's a pass.
And if Geno comes up short, and Geno doesn't complete those passes, now Lisa's fucked.
But that's the first time all season that he would be doing that.
He has to win the semifinals this week. He can't afford the only time this season for that to happen.
You're predicting an anomaly, is what I'm saying. You're predicting something other than...
Is that what we're here to do?
We'll call it a mega upset alert then. Geno Smith not balling out versus Kansas City. It's a good
Knight, Moss, Foreman, Devin Singletary, Mostert need to... Oh, God. Mostert went off. Mostert went off.
And there's no Jeff Wilson Jr. there.
Mostert, Knight?
That was my fantasy must start last week.
Mostert at night.
Yeah, I feel like I want to go Mostert and
Michael Carter got only like 5 touches last week.
Yep. Knight is the guy in New York.
Knight's getting the carries.
Everyone, like, New York is so weird because, like, it's like this place where it's like you're all replaceable at any moment, but you're all producing in some way, so we can't let any of you go.
Yeah.
Like if I'm the New York GM, I'm like, who do we cut? Like, y'all sure you really want to walk? You know, that's a tough job.
And bro, like, can you imagine they lost Breece Hall, they traded for James White, Robbie, and then all of a sudden now you got Bam Knight show up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Ooh, that was nasty.
On the night talk, I'm in an interesting situation. Do I bench D-Hop in a point per first down, 0.25 points per carry league for Knight?
Yeah,
I probably would do that. Just because of the sheer volume.
It's so ugly to have to do it because
it's only ugly because it's only ugly because of the name value of a DeAndre Hopkins and because of what you've been accustomed to of what DeAndre Hopkins could do. Otherwise, let's be honest, is it really?
And when all said and done, I know it's going to be the right choice, and I don't trust Trace McSorley. No, to do anything.
I'm confuddled with the whole fucking Ravens and Lamar and rushing him back, and you know, I'll be honest. You signed Lamar earlier in the offseason. You can now figure out the rest of the budget to probably figure out pieces to where record-wise, Baltimore isn't sitting in the fucking position that they're in. Baltimore's in the position that they're in because of Baltimore's fault. If Lamar doesn't play this week, it's that front office's fault. If I'm Lamar, I'm even like, fuck y'all. Like, if I'm Lamar straight up, like, and I know that like people are like, oh, my fantasy lineup. If I'm Lamar, fuck you, your whole staff, and your crew.
You ain't gonna say that to your team though. The team that you've brought up since the beginning.
Yes, you will, because players have done it before. Players have done it before.
That's not big trust.
Okay, big trust was created by Ingram.
Yeah.
And Lamar needs to take care of him damn self.
I agree with you. From a business sense, you are 1,000% right.
And if you think that he's not thinking about it, if you think if as soon as he got injured, if you think that the first thought that went through his mind was, these motherfuckers never paid me at all. You're bugging. You're bugging, bro.
You're right. You're not wrong. But at the end of the day, he's a leader. He's a God-given leader. And those are his men in the locker room. And he knows that they have a shot at the playoffs.
He is also a business. And if his doctor is probably like, hey, don't do this, or God forbid he goes out and then gets injured even worse.
Yes. If the doctor's telling you there's future injury risk, yes. If the doctor says you're going to be sore, but you're structurally good, there's not an increased risk for damage, and that's a decision. That's when you make that decision.
He can't choose to just sit out because he's not paid.
Yes.
If he does
that, he can. Players do that shit all the time.
Not Lamar.
Brandon Cooks didn't get fucking traded. He sat out.
What would that do for the narrative of a black quarterback?
That's trying to get paid in free agency.
That motherfucker don't give a hell. You know what that would do? You should have paid me. You should have paid me. You should have paid me. I will gladly be like, I will support the fuck out of him if he sits out. Because as a black quarterback, definitely even more, that you need to be setting a precedence of fuck this, fuck y'all rich white owners. I ain't playing y'all's game no more. You're gonna play my game, especially as him being the only quarterback in NFL history to be going through this deal structure without an agent. Nah, bro, you need to set that bar high. I don't think
It could backfire in
I think
negotiations.
75% of white people would not end up agreeing with you, and that's
Yeah.
not that you're wrong. Not that you're wrong.
But that's also the point of this is that from within inside of our community, y'all or I'm not saying y'all, but white people are usually going to want it to be. And I'm not trying to make this a conversation, but it's going to be boys shut up and color. No, fuck that. We're done playing that game.
If it wasn't a contract year, I would agree. If it was a non-contract year and he wants
his contract year was last year, Taco. What are you talking about? You should have paid the man last year.
You're right, but he has a contract that's available at the end.
That was when the negotiation. Now, if I'm Lamar, I'm like, no, there's no negotiating.
You hurt your marketability like that. When
you're
you're gonna hurt your marketability. New teams are gonna ask you about those questions. You're gonna put any
team is not gonna look at that. Any team is going to be happy to take Lamar. And any team is going to understand.
But you might take
any team is going to understand.
With your bargaining chips.
Fuck them too. That's clearly not a team that you want to play for.
Listen, if he's injured and he can't play, then
do not risk your body for one game, especially when they don't have the weapons to get you through that game. To get you into the playoffs, they don't have the weapons to get you into the playoffs.
You want them to make.
You are the weapon. You are the weapon. You are the weapon. Yes, I want Lamar to be like straight up, be like, "Yo, fuck y'all. Y'all didn't pay me." Bigger, way bigger than fantasy football. Way bigger than fantasy football. This is about principle. This is about principle. I hurt myself trying to prove to you that I was worth the money, and during that whole time, while proving to you, while winning games with the shitty fucking personnel, you still ain't pay me. Yeah. And then you let me get hurt. And then you want me to try and come back?
You're not wrong. No. But from a public relations standpoint,
who gives a fuck? Fuck the public relations.
You make more money by going out there for you. Look at what CeCe Sabathia did when he got traded to the Milwaukee.
This is a different time. This is a different time. If I'm Lamar,
market came and said, whatever you want.
If I'm Lamar, I will freaking go on. I will go stream on Twitch, bro. I'll go stream on Twitch and make double the money. I don't give a fuck, bro. I do not care. Judy, Zeke, Monty, pick 2. I don't know if Herbert was back or not.
Definitely Zeke.
Yeah, you have to play Zeke.
He's getting so much volume. And in this game versus the Eagles, it could either be them up early or them wanting to control the clock. So I see Zeke being a factor.
He says, "No, you're good. You're good." I love that you did that. It's gotta be the last two. It is. It's gotta be Zeke and Monty. I understand my argument about what have you done for me lately and Judy. Fuck that. There's other people that could outscore. Either of those two could outscore Judy.
You know what'd be really crazy?
What?
If the backup quarterback in the Broncos ends up outplaying Russell Wilson and you have a quarterback controversy there too. Like Wilson just fell off the ultimate cliff.
I love this week's AMA as a full mixture of what have you done for me lately and who's just the better player and finding that balance of when do you weigh the one way or the other. Yeah. Because we both have, all of us have talked over.
Yes, Matt. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. But this is a hard week in regards to, like, championships and shit like that. Like, there's a lot that you're looking at.
You know what we need? Bring back the COVID protocols. That's all these motherfuckers. Friday afternoon.
You know, I feel like what happened to Hurts is like fucking COVID protocols-esque. Because that shit just came out of nowhere, bro.
No, that's just normal.
Tuesday, I'm just like, wait, what?
He had a strained shoulder and dropped a teardrop into A.J. Brown 50 yards down the field.
It's like, what? Don't tell me.
It's been getting worse. It's been getting worse and worse is the thing.
Well, then if that's the case, then why are they running him into the fucking line so much? Like,
because he's
think about what organization that you are talking about.
Some coaches, I swear to God, man.
But yes, that is
care about the fantasy, but he's in a good spot to win this year. I don't think that Lamar is in a good spot to win. You cannot convince me that offense and that team and that defense has what it takes to make it all the way through a Super Bowl. If I'm honestly, I'd be like, yo, this is not our year. We fucked up and we fucked up bad. We didn't pay Lamar. We didn't get Lamar weapons. We try to run out there with the exact same personnel that we did. We try to bulk up our defense, but I mean, that ain't enough to get us, through all the way to a Super Bowl. I'm like, you know what? We need to tweak just a few more things. Let's pedal back. Let's keep what we got healthy. Fuck it.
I'll say this though. I mean, losing Bateman hurt, but why the fuck did you really deal Hollywood Brown? Like, what did you really get out of that trade that made it worth it?
Their defense is strong. Their defense is in a good shape with that deal.
Their defense is the only thing that allows them to breathe. Need a deep flex from my home league playoffs. Rashad White or Michael Pittman with Nick Foles at QB, both late weekend games.
I would say you got to go Pittman for the upside here. I know that White is probably a little bit safer, but Pittman could hit a home run. And
I feel like White's not safer.
What happened?
I feel like White's not safer because of playoff Lenny, and that's why I go Pittman.
That's true too. I just think the upside here is with Pittman, and usually I'm shooting upside. I want home run hitters because he has a solid floor as well.
Amen to that, Jamie. Who needs luck when you have Rumboyz? Happy holidays, bro.
No. I still need luck, buddy. Please send it.
I was about to say, definitely still need a lot of luck.
Yeah.
I see what Robbie's saying, but I also think Lamar is the type of player to go out and ball with his team regardless of the situation. Yeah. I see that, but I also see that, bro, you've had enough time off where your camp is probably telling you, dog. Because and then if you're Lamar, you go out, you get hurt again. You have now provided every fucking reason for the Baltimore Ravens and any team now to be like, yo, fuck you and your payday. You just RG3'd yourself. Like, hell, from a better standpoint, if I'm a quarterback that is like an RG3, I'm making a call to Lamar and be like, hey, yo, do you want to know what I did? Go back and watch. You should probably not do that. Like, straight up. Jeremy Reeves, Robbie Baller. My gifts to you, Robbie: unlimited weed supply, St. Pat, unlimited snacks, taco, unlimited tacos. My gift to Taco equals a fake Nick Shrine to get his hopes up for a little while. Oh God.
Hey, listen, Matt. I have Pascal Siakam on my fantasy team. Even when we lose, I win.
Olave or Cooper. Supposed to be negative degrees with winds 25 to 30. Gusts around 45 to 60. I'd sit both, but choosing one is hard. If you're not in a position, if asking this question, you're in a position where you can't sit both. If Olave is healthy, I would probably play Olave. But Amari Cooper is a better route runner. I'm hoping that could show in snow.
Give me the better QB and the better route runner.
I probably would go Cooper.
I want the veteran experience here.
Yeah, especially with Olave.
Yeah. Olave gonna fuck around and slip and bust his ass in that snow, and I don't think that he's healthy.
Also, it's home Amari Cooper.
It's hard to not play him though after how well he's been for you this season. Like he's been one of those guys for you.
Glockside asks PPR need to Slayton, People Jones, Singletary, and Pickens. It's probably between the first two for me, or if not DPJ, then it'd be Singletary, just because the way that Buffalo's been utilizing him a lot more.
Who, Singletary?
Yeah.
Oh, it would not be Singletary for me.
Singletary's your long shot.
Yeah. I think the way that now they're starting to use Hines and Cook in the red zone, it's become
Cook has taken the fuck over.
Bro,
Cook has taken over.
I have in my 14-team league, so we've been monitoring and watching that, and I've been watching this downfall, and you could feel it from the way the coach has changed the usages up, and the way he's doing things now. It's just like Singletary. He's good, not great. He's a guy, like, you know what I mean. He can get the job done, but he's nothing special. So it's hard. But I probably would go Slayton and Peoples Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with the first two. You guys think Watson likes playing with a beast running back like Chubb more or a beast wide receiver like Hopkins? I think that is too early to answer that question right now. I think that you have to fully see Deshaun immersed in this offense for like a couple of weeks, like more than a couple, like a few weeks, like 6 to 8 weeks. Then you really be able to be like, then you'd be able to answer that question.
You can't answer that question until next year. This is
Yeah.
just shaking rust off because he's
definitely shaking rust off.
Yeah. So like you're really gonna so now he's gonna shake it off. Then he gets a full off season for a training camp. Then he comes in, and that's when you expect full Watson.
And then you have to ask yourself if even because now that you have Watson and now everything that Tucker said, the off season, the time to work, you have to ask yourself if this offense even remains a run first offense. More than likely, yes, because of the coaching staff. But it's also going to be dependent on what receivers they get in the draft, what free agency receivers they get could really dictate what changes this offense makes. I'd rather start Godwin over both. Well, he wasn't in the comment. Over both Olave and Cooper, plus Olave is more of a deep threat with that win, and the ball's not traveling that far.
If the wind,
so if you have, are you talking about Goodwin or Godwin? If it's Godwin,
no, I probably see Godwin is a no-brainer. I think that's
people are saying Goodwin.
Yeah, Seattle.
Yeah, if it's Seattle,
KC. I mean, low key, I might be starting him in my 14-team league. He's literally.
I'm afraid.
I went for.
I'm afraid of Seattle versus KC this week.
I don't know, man.
I think that everyone's buying. I think that everyone's buying too much into what happened last week with KC against Houston.
Listen, in Yahoo, when you look at the matchups, there are red matchups and there's green matchups, right? We're starting him, and it's a green matchup with 4 next to it, meaning it's probably the fourth best defense for fantasy players to go against. So with that data in hand, I think it might be a good matchup.
All the things that you could look at, you looked at the simplest goddamn thing. You did not just go for something. You did not just go for a piece of fucking data that was accessible to every single person in the chat, is that they could not conclusively decide that on their own based off of colors.
Well, sometimes people forget.
They literally build tools like that for. They build tools like that for.
A lot of people forget what's right in front of them. They say the best things are hidden in plain sight.
I agree with Taco there. Like, there's a point where we have to. There's a point where we have to show, like, yes, we are more.
If the best things were hidden right in front of you, no one would be in this motherfucking chat.
That's not true.
That's not true.
No.
Sometimes
you're in this chat because you're in this chat because you have teeter-totter between the things that are already right in front of you. Like, well, this is this, this is this. You know what? Let me get a motherfucking another opportunity. That's why you're in this chat. If that was the case, and if you were just able to look like, well, this says green, I'm just gonna do it.
No.
Or this player has more projected points. No.
Yep.
But at the same time, why does that player have more projected points? We can analyze those things.
Say, exactly.
Maybe Sleeper or ESPN or YouTube or Yahoo is right about their projections and the reason why.
Yep.
Who would win in a Christmas movie fight in their prime? John McClane or Martin Riggs? It's McClane. It's McClane. That's easy.
Kevin McAllister.
Taco, Giants are going to let JJ get 200 this week. I hope, not only for fantasy, but for the chase to 2K yards.
Oh, that's interesting.
If he breaks that record, you have to I know I've said it ever since the rookie year. You really have to start considering, is this the next Randy Moss? Like, you really have to start putting the two in the same conversation.
Justin Jefferson.
He is taking hits though too, and bouncing from him. Like every time I watch him play, I'm like, okay, is he okay? And then he just pops up and
the dude is a monster.
When Kirk Cousins is your
like
fucking quarterback,
senior than me too, so it looks way cooler when he does it.
when Kirk Cousins is your quarterback, you know, shit's gonna happen. Y'all hear that as of now, Heineke's still a starter. Y'all hear that Rivera considered possibly switching QBs. I don't think that he did it because of the social media backlash he got. I don't think he's gonna do it because of that. Honestly, I think that is that.
So is Heineke not him?
No, he definitely is still him. I think it was like a lapse of like after the loss, him being so pissed. I think it was more so of like you ever say something out of emotion that like you really didn't mean.
Yeah.
I can no.
I do that shit today.
Every day. No. 2 reporters. I did that as a high school athlete. I got asked a question one time. And when I read the words in the paper the next day, I was like, shit, that didn't come out the way I wanted.
That did not come out good. Yeah.
What it was I had a previous, our athletic director had been our head coach for basketball for my first 3 years. Senior year, we get a new varsity basketball coach. We go from winning 5 games my junior year to 18 my senior year. And the reporter asked, well, what's different? What's changed? And I talked about how much more disciplined our team was and how much harder we work in practice and how we're all bought in more with this new coach versus our previous coach. And then next day I had to go and get my ankle taped by that athletic director.
Bro,
it was true. What I said was true. But 17-year-old Patrick didn't know how to have tact when he said our team's.
Bro, you say something in like an interview, or like I've had people message me after fantasy football interviews and they're like, so that's how you feel about my takes. I'm like, bro, that shit got misinterpreted so crazy. Like the way that I was meaning it and the way that it came across airwaves. 2 totally different things, you know. So
it takes time to get used to your back and forth during these types of shows.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There was times I got off and I was like, Robbie hates my fucking guts.
Fuck no.
And then I'm like, no, we just disagree on this fantasy football take.
No, I leave everything on air. If anyone ever leaves the show, be like, Robbie's taking it personal. I'm like, well, you're fucking up. Like, no, I don't ever. Nothing's ever personal. Business is business. Is strictly pleasure. Kayvon or Chase Young. When Chase Young comes back, I'm taking Chase Young.
Chase Young ain't shit, bro. He ain't shit. You know who is the shit? You know who the shit is? Yo, Robbie, tell him what my boy Kayvon did on Sunday night. You let them know. I ain't even gonna do it. You can do it.
Fuck you.
Let them know what he did.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm definitely taking Chase Young
for a tutty.
Damage.
How about
I'm
that
definitely taking
right there.
Damage.
Right there.
Like, you can't even compare the two. You can't even compare the two. One hasn't been healthy.
Bro,
one towards fucking ACL.
Rookie year.
And guess what? He can still go through the same injury. You can't put the two on the same playing field.
You're right.
You can't compare the two.
He has to get on the playing field before we could even talk about this.
Like if we were to be like, okay, Kayvon or like a Deron Payne or something like that, then like, okay, like I'm still taking my boys. I'm still taking my boys. Like Kayvon has to. He had a slow start to the beginning of the year too. He
started hurt though. He came on.
He did, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like you can't really compare the two. One doesn't have enough tape. The tape the one has is only really their rookie year. Not much really else after that. So it's like There's not. What are you going to do? Compare them to college? Okay, well now if you compare them to college, well one was definitely way greater than the other in college because the other also in college plays off and didn't play as hard.
Give me Kayvon on year one of that rookie contract all day, baby.
No, you wouldn't want that.
Why?
You wouldn't want that.
Why?
Because he's not at his full potential.
Who?
Kayvon Thibodeau's not at his full potential.
That's what I'm saying. Like
he hasn't hit that. He hasn't.
That's what I'm saying. He's on his rookie contract. Like that's like the best. You want him on their rookie contract.
Defense is different. Why do you think that when you draft in IDP leagues, you're getting a lot more like in dynasty IDP leagues, you're getting a lot more like veteran presence? But the two things correlate. Why do you think you're going after a more your grown man strength on defense comes a little bit later in your career. Right. So what you are as a rookie is nowhere compared to when your career really starts like to blossom, like really develop. Like what we think of Aiden Hutchinson right now, it's not gonna be what we think of him 3, 4, 5 years from now. Right. We're like, oh shit,
but he's
healthy, and his grown man strength has stepped in. The dude's really a problem. For rookies on defense, it's a lot harder to catch up to the speed of the game.
Right. I feel like you're getting your secondary. You have younger guys that can step in and come into their own right away.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find a defense with a cheap young secondary that's doing really well, your defense automatically is up there.
Yep.
Your linebackers are similar to like your tight ends, where your tight ends take a couple years to develop, but once they're there and they've established themselves, they're right there. Then your pass rush, you want depth, you want numbers, and you just want guys that say, "I don't give a fuck, get out of my way. I'm bigger and stronger."
Yep. Like hell, like you know, a linebacker like a Luke Kuechly, like back in the day, I would have taken him right in the middle of his career. I don't want you right at the beginning. I don't want you towards that ass thing, but right in that. That's when I would want it, you know. So like with Chase Young when he comes back, he's gonna be such a difference maker because his grown man strength is now gonna be settled in. You also gotta realize a lot of these guys get injuries early into their careers because during that 19 to 22 year old range, your body's adjusting. You know, the things that you can do as you get older, I mean, pretty much from like 23 to 28, that's like your real prime. Like the shit that you can do between then, the amount of hours you can fuck between then is incredible. Like the shit that you can do between 23 and 28, look, 30 is manageable. As soon as 31 hits, 32 start creeping up. Whole different ball game. Completely different ball game. You guys are day-to-day folks. We're not like y'all in the chat, not $1 million athletes. Just imagine how you feel on a day-to-day as you get older. And bro, that prime slot in your 20s where you feel like the biggest, the fastest, the strongest, you can pack on muscle mass. Yeah. That's usually when a lot of players stay their healthiest.
Yeah. I mean, 27 is usually when you expect the peak year.
Yep, 23. Yep.
Year 3 is when you get a big spike in production as well. Typically speaking, there's guys now that are breaking the mold because I feel like the college game and the way athletes are preparing their bodies coming into the league has completely been revolutionized through the easy accessibility of equipment and tape and science that they've never had. So I think that the game is changing, and I think we're seeing more players at a younger age become impactful because of the training that they're getting at the younger and lower levels, which has developed in itself because before it wasn't as established as it is now. And now there's people handing it down. There's programs that have been built for 30, 40, 50 years. And now they're really also stepping into their sports science and everything like that. So I think that the athlete now is just getting better and they're performing at a younger age and they're actually lasting to a longer age as well. So I think it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But typically, yeah, year 3, you get a big spike and 27 is usually when you hit your prime.
Yeah. Yeah, give me Kayvon like a couple years into it, and that's when I'm really fucking with it.
I'm just saying, like, we got his rookie contract now, so he just gets some pieces around him, and because a pass rusher that we drafted works easy for us because it doesn't cost us as much it would cost in free agency for a player of his level. And now we go out and get some other pieces to put him around.
But that's why you also see a lot of people. That's why you see a lot of teams spend the money in free agency on defense. They spend it first, or either they draft defense like really early and they build up that line, those linebackers, and then they'll trade them later in their career, so they can get something back for them. It's a high value position. Matt saying screw Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers did anything wrong getting that MVP.
No, he earned it, and he got voted it by the people, and it'll sit on his mantle and all of his future girlfriends will see it. Maybe a wife or two.
Yeah, because he can't keep a family together.
Yeah, maybe when he moves, he might move out to Washington and play out there for a year. I don't know. Really?
I don't think that.
I saw that thrown around earlier today.
I'm seeing that thrown around a lot, but now I'm starting. Honestly, in the last 3-ish weeks, I've been seeing a lot of the possibility of Lamar going.
It's going to come down to some pieces and where some things fall. I think we'll have a good picture by St. Patrick's.
I don't think that.
Idea.
Yeah, I don't think that Washington blows it up enough to get Lamar. Because you can't get rid of Terry, so you're fucked there. You can't unload Chase, you're fucked there. You've re-signed most of the defense, you're fucked there. You really don't have a whole lot that you can get rid of. If you're for Washington, pretty much everyone's kind of intact for the most part. So you're kind of screwed on trying to go and pursue a Lamar Jackson, but I've been hearing it thrown around. So that means that somebody is definitely talking.
I saw recent odds today, and the article that had the odds listed was saying Rodgers to the Giants, and then they were the Giants were the 6th team on the list at plus 1,200, and it was This is trash. This is just Daniel. You're saying Daniel Jones is going to be the quarterback next year.
I could see that. I don't think that Daniel Jones is the quarterback next year.
I don't think Daniel Jones is the quarterback either next year. But I don't think that Rodgers is that solution.
Who are they going to get? If we're not getting Lamar Jackson,
there's a whole draft. I don't know if you remember that, but there's a whole draft.
You're right. I guess we got to see who they draft. But with the way this regime is built, I think that they might go someone on defense, probably maybe a corner instead, or they would draft a wide receiver instead, and then probably look at Daniel Jones run for 2 more years.
I don't.
Or they might.
Dable already hasn't seen. I feel even you look him in the eyes, I don't think he's fully bought in on Daniel Jones.
I don't know. From some of the locker room stuff I've been hearing after this last game, it sounds like he's starting to become his guy because you know what? They're delivering in clutch. I mean, he could be just a good motivation.
But we see this all the time. Where it's
weapons. He legitimately has 0 weapons. Zero. He doesn't even have fuck a Pro Bowl.
I'll take Baltimore's weapons over.
Yeah,
New York.
Over New York's weapons any day, yeah.
So it's hard to really evaluate him with nothing.
You've also given him.
You probably take
5 fucking years.
Yes, but you've had
4 years.
4 fucking coaches.
4.
This is still year 4.
And this is his 3rd coach, 4th coach. Dable is the best coach of them all. And if
but most quarterbacks in that position don't get that benefit of the doubt. So you also have to look at history.
Right, but he's had some shit.
I feel
look at what Judge is doing with fucking Pats.
I didn't plan on coming into this stream defending Daniel Jones, and I feel this is the second time I've had to say something positive about him.
Yes, R.I.P. Franco Harris.
I think he's going to get like a 2-year, $18 million, $20 million contract.
Yeah.
Is it with New York? I don't know. But that's kind of where I feel like his range is going to be. He is a capable NFL quarterback at this point in his career.
Yeah.
2 year.
And the old way of judging quarterbacks was roughly 3 years time in the NFL to make your determination on it. The longevity and long careers of Roethlisberger, Brady, Breeze, Rodgers, Roethlisberger really shorten that time frame for quarterbacks to succeed and be given their shot.
Oh, yeah.
And that's dropped that time frame from 3 years to roughly 1.5 years, which lands to roughly Thanksgiving, their second year, if they're starting day one. Daniel Jones didn't get the full first year with Eli. Second year he showed some stuff, but he's always been inconsistent. He's shown the highs, he's shown the lows, and was constantly changing quarterbacks or changing coaches, changing offensive coordinators. Give the man 2 years of consistency, something he's never had in his career.
But the NFL is such a business to where.
But who are you?
And especially how it is now. You're talking about a 33.3% turnover rate across all NFL rosters. You're not getting him.
All right, so here's the question.
You're not getting him consistency. You're not getting him consistency.
You're going to go draft a rookie, and after he took you to the playoffs, and say, I'm just going to get this rookie and plug him in, and he's going to be better than Daniel Jones? Or do you take a guy that you've had reduce his turnovers, had him show some moxie without having any receivers there to get the job done and get you to victories, and you're not going to
you're literally finding yourself torn. You're literally finding yourself torn between the two, and you and I both know. Should he
2 more years?
Getting to the playoffs is not enough in the state of New York.
So going back to my question on Rumboyz,
he has a win-win. If he wins one playoff game, y'all keep him. If he does not win that playoff game, you're like, no, fuck that.
Is Daniel Jones as a quarterback able to win a Super Bowl?
No.
You know what?
Yes, in theory, anyone can win any single game. We know that. But do you think he is an NFL quarterback that can lead your team to a Super Bowl?
No, but with the offense and team that we have, if we gave him some weapons, I want to see. He has 0. He has less than nothing.
So then you're better off trading him away, getting some picks, building some weapons, putting someone behind center, maybe grabbing a quarterback out of free agent. Then go now. Pat just said you can bring in a Rodgers. Get rid of Dan Jones, bring in Aaron Rodgers for a year, go all in on receivers, go all in so that way, because now if you get rid of Dan Jones and you don't have to pay him.
We got to go trade for Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to trade for him.
Those assets. We'll use those assets to continue to use the great drafting strategies that the Giants had.
So then what? You're sitting back 8 years later and you're like, what the fuck?
You're making the playoffs this year. What are you talking about?
You're making it this year. That's not how the NFL works. And you know that.
Right out the defense that you have right now that is helping to allow this team to succeed despite having no offensive weapons besides Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
And put a quarterback there with
keep Saquon bringing. Yep.
Even get a cheaper running back because God knows there's so many 23 running backs available in the free agency class.
That's going to be the tough part because Saquon is like the fucking heartbeat of the team.
That's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting. I don't know what's going to happen with running back contracts.
You're in a very much Carolina Panthers kind of space, like except. How Carolina was a couple years ago was like, hey, we're actually doing pretty good and making the playoffs and we're doing pretty decent, but we're doing it all through this one guy named Christian McCaffrey. You're gonna find yourselves running into a wall where it's like, okay,
Jones has done more than that.
It's either you're gonna have to make a fucking decision straight up. It's either Daniel Jones or Saquon Barkley.
Not necessarily. We got $55 million.
Going back to what I was saying, it was either we could try and continue to ride out with Cam, or we could send Cam on his happy ass motherfucking way, and we could try and ride this out with Christian McCaffrey. Because we're not winning games with both of them, and we can't bring in other receivers with both of them. We can't keep DJ Moore with
But
both
that's
of
not our
them.
situation. We have $55
That
million.
is your situation. That is you have an injured Kenny Galladay. You have an injured Kenny Galladay. You're gonna have to now free that up.
Yeah, well, Kenny Galladay is beyond not fucking injured. He's just trash. The dude
Like-
doesn't even try. So that's a different story. But
Bro,
yeah,
you
gotta
have
get rid of Kenny
no
Galladay.
you have no receivers. Daniel Jones is entering
we
into a
lost
contract
two of
year. Daniel Jones entering into a contract year. You're still constantly paying Saquon.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to make a decision.
you draft
So-
a wide receiver and sign another wide
So
receiver.
the really interesting thing is, if you guys were to go the Rodgers route, get the discount double check, the Packers maintain the contract. The Packers eat the dead cap and are paying him
You don't worry about shit.
for a season. Yeah,
So now you end up with a better quarterback and significantly more money to bring Rodgers receivers.
If you're
Now-
telling me we have more money to bring receivers and get Rodgers, then yes, fucking give it.
That's
to me.
what the fuck.
Yes. If I can get Rodgers and receivers with our cap money, yes, do it. But if you're telling me who the fuck's gonna take over, other than that's why I said who you bringing in. Other
It can
than
also
that
be
would
any, it could be a Derek Carr. There's not every quarterback that is on a team right now. You and I both know that. Yes, you would.
I wouldn't. I'd rather give Daniel Jones a shot, like you said, at consistency. I give him another 2 years.
So
Daniel
then you
Jones-
pay. So then you would pay him. You gotta remember. Okay. So you're gonna fucking pay him. The QB market has adversely changed.
right.
You're
He's not
about to
gonna get
pay
paid
him
more
an
than Rodgers.
ass. You're about to pay him an assload of money for not ever until this fucking year getting to the playoffs and possibly losing those playoffs. Hasn't won you a fucking playoff game. Is not as dynamic
But who is his coach?
as
Who is
some
the
other
GM?
quarterbacks. Bro, I don't give a fuck who y'all going to get. Honestly, save yourselves money. If you're telling me if I'm in this situation as Washington, okay, and I'm like, yo, he hasn't done shit for us. We need to clear up some cap space at the quarterback position.
Robbie wants Washington to sign Daniel Jones.
What? No, I want us to get Lamar. Honestly, and there's a possibility that can happen.
I mean, then
We can do it, and we can also we have the talent, unlike y'all, to where we can free up the space and bring him in.
More cap and more talent. How does that work?
We're also worth more. There's we haven't spent money. We haven't spent money on quarterback.
You guys, the Redskins,
The only thing that we spent
more than the Giants.
We're one of the top 20 in all sports franchises in value. Period. Across the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the Knicks and the Yankees are top 10.
Anyways, furthermore, we could get rid of. We already paid Terry. We could get rid of a Curtis Samuel, move an Antonio Gibson. Get rid of one of our second string quarterbacks. We could free it. We could move a Chase Young. We can do things. We can do things and then fill those holes with draft picks to where you don't get that luxury. So for you, you're in a position. You're in a position where you have to give up your most valuable piece, one of your most valuable pieces, to be able to balance out the rest of it. You can't have your cake and eat it too. There's no way in this argument that you are able to have your cake and eat it too. You're not going to be able to keep Daniel Jones and Saquon plus the whole entire defensive unit that you got together and improve on wide receivers. That's not going to happen. Someone has to go.
You're right, but we have $58 million next year. This offseason, we have $58 million.
And if you choose to keep Daniel fucking Jones with the way the quarterback market is going, 48 of that is going to Daniel.
If I can sign Lamar Jackson, yeah, 48 of that ain't going to Daniel.
Bro, 2, 3, 4 years ago, Tannehill was literally making $80 million fucking dollars. This is Ryan Tannehill. What the fuck are you talking about?
Contract, but not for a season. He doesn't make 80 for a season.
You're not bringing someone in like that for a season.
I'm not saying that, but he got $80 million. Yes, but that's not for the cap is per year. So his cap hit for that year is only like 20 million or something like that. It's not $80 million
So what? You're gonna drop 20, 30 mil
on Daniel Jones? Who are you getting out over them? If I'm getting Rodgers in a trade that's
financially speaking, you're fucking crazy if you really think that not building up and bolstering the rest of the talent. It would also take you a shorter amount of time to develop a QB, get the rest of the talent around the younger QB, and give that guy a shot. You could just pull the exact same thing the Kansas City Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes. You could literally just do that.
But then who's the quarterback that's the bridge?
Who gives a fuck about the bridge?
I mean, that's
the bridge is whoever you bring in. You could bring in Baker for a year, bro. You don't even need that.
So you're telling me Baker is better than Daniel Jones?
I'm telling you that the financial decision
is better than Daniel Jones.
No, but hang on to Daniel Jones when you're going to pay him about 30 some odd million a year.
How does he get to 30 million? He's not going.
You only have 58.
So, but he's not getting 30. If he's getting 30, I'm letting him walk. At 30 million, I let him walk.
I'd be surprised if Daniel Jones gets more than 15. I
If
said
he gets
earlier,
15,
I said
I'll find him.
2 for 20.
And then even still at 15. Even still at 15.
I do it. Well, at
15 and not when you shit. At 15 and not when you shit. At 15 and not when you shit.
Listen, if I'm
at 15 and not when you shit. At 15 and not when you shit.
Listen.
You're literally just looking at you're looking at it's Lamar's or bust. You're not even looking at okay, well, if I give her to Daniel Jones and I bring in like anybody else, but now I can afford this receiver. You're not thinking big picture. You're thinking, I really need you jerked your dick so hard to fucking Daniel Jones, bro. You jerked your dick so hard, bro. So bro, if Matt Stafford were to be like, hey, I'll come to New York, you wouldn't do it.
That means we'd have to trade for him. He has a bad back that's near retirement, or has a neck that's near retirement with a huge ass contract. It's going to cost less per season for me to have Daniel Jones on my roster.
So you wouldn't take a Matt Stafford,
and I would have more draft picks, right or wrong? If I'm signing him as a free agent and it doesn't cost me anything, then yes. If I have to trade any assets for him and take on that huge contract, which would cost more per year than Daniel Jones, then no, I don't want it.
Can you pull up Leaf's comment? Because this is the second time tonight.
It's just because fucking Taco sucks.
Don't be mad because you're wrong.
No, there's nothing to be wrong about, bro. There are a million other quarterbacks that you can
get.
There's
not a million other quarterbacks. It's not true. There's like 4. There's 4, and I wouldn't take Derek Carr.
No, there's not. There's 32 motherfucking teams in the league. What are you talking about?
And guess what? Baker Mayfield was a starter, and then he wasn't.
That's not even no.
Sam Darnold is a fucking starter.
You wouldn't take Geno
or Daniel Jones. That's fucking tough, but I probably give Daniel Jones a shot.
You wouldn't take Jimmy G? If the 49ers give her to Trey Lance, you're not doing that?
I don't have enough weapons for Jimmy G to be good enough. Daniel Jones is used on designed runs, and he's
you would play Daniel Jones over Tua? You'd play Daniel Jones over? I'm down. Bro, I'm just gonna start going through, bro. Let's go through the fucking realm possibilities. You could trade for people. You brought up, we'd have to trade for this person. We'd have to do this.
Listen, Robbie, I am not trading because I want to use those draft picks to draft offensive weapons and players for my team. I want to sign someone that is not going to cost me assets so that I can continue building my team. And with the age of Daniel,
but you don't. But are you going to pay? Are you going to pay the other people that you have? Are you going to still pay the other people that you currently have?
When time is right and the situation comes up, we can evaluate them on.
The answer is fucking no. You're not going to be able to do all. You can't do all.
The way that you can do things in football is fucking crazy. Signing bonuses and things get moved around, and next thing you know, you can fit everyone.
Whatever.
Am I right, Pat?
That's the show for tonight. That's the show for tonight. That's the show.
There's a signing bonus, and the money
goes
around, and now they have this.
Wait, what? Taco, have you considered NIL deals?
NIL deals. What are those?
Do you think they can help out?
Name, image, likeness.
I mean,
what's happening in college sports?
yeah.
Could that help to figure things out for the Giants?
Listen, man, unless you're fucking getting a great pick, but you're not. I mean, you have a great quarterback in the draft, maybe, but we're going to be picking in like the 20s. We're not getting a fucking star quarterback.
You haven't even seen if you guys have the potential to trade up yet. You don't know what's going to happen.
Would you trade up for a quarterback?
You literally have no. Yes. Look at how many great ones there are.
So you think Daniel Jones is going to be a starter, but just not for New York, even though New York has no weapons to give?
No, I don't think that Daniel Jones is going to be a star.
Starter.
I don't think that he's. I think that honestly, let's say New York keeps Daniel Jones. Let's say New York brings in a rookie out of this class. Daniel Jones will start the NFL season. Daniel Jones will lose that motherfucking job.
He hasn't thrown interceptions or had that many turnovers this year.
You got it. You got it.
How do you feel about this?
Go ahead.
What if the?
Oh, I would so take Dugan over. Oh my God, I would so take Dugan over DJ. Oh yeah.
Is Dugan available at 23?
Yeah, he will be.
Then we could talk about it.
I don't think Dugan's going to be great in the NFL. That's my own personal. I think he's going to be gritty. He's going to be gritty, but I don't feel like he's going to super exceed. But another quarterback that I wanted to bring up, Anthony Richardson. The city year.
But then who do you have start next year? Do you start let Tyrod Taylor start?
No. Tyrod Taylor shouldn't be on an NFL team.
Well, I mean, people said that about Geno Smith, and then look at him now.
I think you can get Daniel Jones for between 10 and 15 million a year on a 2-year deal. You're not breaking your cap. You're not hurting your roster construction by having a total of 20 million towards the quarterback.
Let's also remember Taco doesn't scout that much either.
I like what he's saying because that's what I was saying.
I think Anthony Richardson is one of the most raw prospects we've seen.
Gladly do that.
I like that take.
He could. People want to throw out the Josh Allen comparison. I don't want to go there yet because I don't think Josh.
I think that's violent. That's violent as fuck.
They don't grow on trees, but he can be developed. I think he's got the arm strength.
The Giants don't deserve a single Florida Gator anymore after what they did to Kadarius Toney.
Well, I mean, look at what Tony's doing with.
Look what Tony did to them too.
Dude, look at what Tony did to the Chiefs. What are you talking about?
You know what Tony is? Tony's a fuck boy. That's what he is.
I don't like anything about Kadarius Toney. I've never have it. I never will.
I saw the potential in him. He stole my heart for a minute. And
what are you talking about? Did you watch this film at Florida? This man took plays off.
Yeah. Well,
whole ass plays. Not like one or like multiple plays in a row. He would just take them off.
Yeah. It's just
the only reason why he ended up as a first round pick is because he played alongside Kyle Pitts. That was it. If Kyle Pitts was not part of that Florida Gators roster, Tony never gets picked as a first round.
And who was the dumbass that picked him? Gettleman, that stupid fucking asshole. I'm glad that he's gone, and the team has been significantly better since we got the guys from Buffalo. So you know what? If they like Daniel Jones, I like Daniel Jones.
If Matt said, "Shut up,
Jones,
Taco,"
I'm fucking off Daniel Jones.
That's just because
Will Levis is
right.
Tony's gonna. Oh, God.
Listen, I was the fucking biggest.
Here's a fun one that I had. With Will Levis, I had made a joke the other day about like a year ago actually. If he gets QB coached by Brett Favre, would he need to change his name to Will Wranglers?
Oh my gosh. Will Levi's, Will Wranglers. I get it. I'm so fucking here for that.
It was such a stupid joke, but it was.
Oh, that joke is fuck, dude.
It just didn't catch at the right time. It was just the Twitter algorithm never caught it.
That's the worst, bro. The worst is when you have a great joke and you got no one around to tell it to. You're like, what the fuck?
Motherfuckers are projecting Levi's to go like 3rd overall. I think that's kind of wild.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, out of all the quarterbacks, out of all the schools, the guy from Kentucky is who are going to go 3rd overall. All right.
Like drafting a guy from Duke.
I fucking love you.
I have been playing both sides of this argument all night tonight, and it's been great.
Oh man. Oh.
You know what's funny is that well, okay, I can't say that because Tua has definitely came along. I was about to say like a lot of like the big school quarterbacks, it kind of takes them a while.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Daniel Jones's profile, they said if you look at the quarterback book and you draw up a prospect, technically Daniel Jones would be kind of the guy that you would draw up. He's big.
Daniel Jones wasn't even the most quarterback ready out of his own class. What the fuck are you talking about?
The most quarterback ready. What I'm saying is like
you just say shit.
His profile, like his build, his size, his arm, his ability to run. You kind of like how you would build the quarterback.
The eyes of Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
The shoulders of Daniel Jones.
Yeah. I mean that's what Gentleman told us on. That's literally how he.
Gentleman's oh my god! You did not just say that.
That was the GM of the Giants who drafted him.
You buy into your own fucking narrative and bias so bad it's not even fucking funny.
He full bloom love. No, we heard it all across. That there tons of scouts that said it. Reputable scouts who are unbiased. It's like I'm saying. Technically speaking, I'm not saying he is. But
and how many other prospects in that class do they say that about too, though?
There has
where do they have DJ in comparison? So I can tell you exactly where he was ranked in that class. So who's
in that class that's better than him?
Pretty much. Rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. But pretty much everybody
who else
is or would have been better.
Would have been. Okay, no. Who right now from
would have been because watch your mouth when one has passed away.
Okay,
so that's why it's would have been. That's why I'm like, watch it.
So who is drafted that's a starter out of that group?
Pretty much everybody.
No.
Kyler.
Before the
Kyler Murray
string on the Steelers.
Yeah. Kyler was part of that class.
I'm saying like after Daniel Jones, like. Because there was number one quarterback. Okay, cool. But who was after Daniel Jones that was drafted that was a starter?
2018?
Yep.
No, it's 2019.
You're right.
I didn't have many other.
So
I didn't.
Black went second. Was the second quarterback.
Yeah, it was only Kyler. Because the only other two quarterbacks I interviewed out of that class.
So Kyler, Drew Lock. Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, Will Grier never got an opportunity. Ryan Finley never got an opportunity. Drew Lock Drew Lock did get an opportunity. But Jarrett Stidham was actually pretty stable for a little while, but he became a Raider. The Patriots traded him to go to the Raiders because they drafted Mac Jones. So
good God,
not the same assessment.
So Daniel Jones
wasn't ready to do anything.
So Daniel Jones was the second best quarterback in that draft class.
Yep. I mean, honestly, like as of this moment, I mean,
they scouted it right.
R.I.P. to the Daniel Jones was supposed to go 15. He was supposed to go 15. No,
that was their guy.
If you guys had honestly, if you no matter who you guys would have drafted, because what you guys should have done that year, and I remember being there. Like watching the whole thing, breaking down the whole thing. Had you guys drafted a receiver, gotten a quarterback the following year, you'd be in a lot better predicament. Because you went quarterback, you guys have missed on receiver just every single fucking opportunity. Like you guys, the amount of receivers that you missed on compared to the quarterbacks in that class that you missed on, you probably could have waited, gotten any other QB.
In hindsight, if you need a quarterback, you don't.
But that's what we're talking about. That's what the fuck we're talking about. You don't get this.
Yeah, I get you, but if you
stay on topic,
if you have no quarterback, and you need a quarterback,
you had a quarterback. You didn't need one.
Eli played half the season and had no legs by the end of it.
He was done. There was
He
So-
was on his way out. He was on his way out the door.
Yes, and all you needed was a bridge. Daniel Jones was purely drafted to be a bridge. Daniel Jones was never drafted to be the guy. If you, like I said, that's another reason. That's another reason why in many of mocks y'all are projected to go and get another fucking quarterback. Gardner Minshew was 6th in that draft, but I didn't interview him. Just because you're a starter for a team, that means you're a starter for that team. And that means that you just so happen to fit that team system. Quarterback is a very big position.
You're right.
Across a lot of leagues, a lot of different players.
You're right.
Does not mean just because he has that job doesn't mean that someone's not going to come along and outwork him.
Never said that.
No, you're closed-minded. You're closed-minded enough to not admit it. It's what the problem is.
No,
that's what the problem is. It is true.
Not at all what I'm saying.
That is a very true assessment. That you are close. You are closed-minded enough. It's like if Pat were here. It's like if Pat were to sit here and be like, Aaron Rodgers are one and only, and Aaron Rodgers. You're not willing to admit that, hey, there is another way for our team to continue to be profitable in a different way.
Again,
for me, that'd be like for me to sit here and be like, the only way for Washington to be profitable is if we keep this piece or that. I can't do that.
That's not what I'm saying, though.
That is exactly what you're saying, Taco.
Quarterback, who are you going to bring in? You're not going to go down when you just made the playoffs. You're not going to go to a worse
teams do it all the time, and it works out for them.
That ain't going to work.
So your argument is invalid.
That's not true.
It is true. It is true
with anyone, and we're just not going to be a better team because Daniel Jones was.
If you spend enough money on the right pieces, it may have taken Miami a hot minute to go and get their Tua, but you know what? You brought in you drafted a Waddle. It took you a year to get the right receiver. You drafted a Waddle. Then you brought in free agency, but then in free agency you brought in Tyreek Hill.
And then before free agency, you talked to Tom Brady.
Yeah,
they did. But hell, look at what the Bucs did, where it's like they went all in. Look at what the Rams did, where they went all in. Y'all can very well, though. The point that I'm trying to make is that you're trying to make a point that he is the one and only. He is the prodigal son. And what I'm trying to get you to realize is any given Sunday, any NFL, this shit can change in an instant. He could go out this week and fuck his shit up. And everything that you just said and you defending him meant fucking nothing.
That can happen to anyone at any time, 100%. The point is, what are you going to do with the roster right now? With our situation right now, you are not going to make your team worse. That does
not make your team worse.
If you're not replacing him with one of the upper options,
if it required me to get rid of Daniel Jones and go get a top prime wide receiver in free agency, we'll figure out our quarterback position in free agency. Let's just get a guy that can come in here, be exactly what Daniel was, and we'll just rock out with our cocks out that way.
But we can still sign a receiver, even with Daniel Jones at $15 million. If we get you're not getting a top line premium guy. You've already tried this year after year. So then
you're not getting a top premium guy.
Talking about that we're going to get
most guys don't even want to come to fucking New York and pay the state taxes, bro.
I ain't lying about that.
You had an opportunity to get Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill said no.
No, the Jets did.
They're also playing.
No, Tyreek said no to you guys too.
No, we weren't putting out an offer.
What was that, Pat?
They play in New Jersey. They get New Jersey's taxes.
Yeah, they get Jersey taxes. Yeah, my fault.
They did try and go out and get a wide receiver for Daniel Jones.
Yep.
And you ended up with Kenny
Golladay.
But fucking, that was Gettleman. He was fucking trash.
And I don't know what the fuck happened to Golladay.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be one of the biggest mysteries of what the hell happened.
Because
that honestly, anyone probably would have tried to go after that still.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. I think going after Galladay was the right choice. With all the context that we had at that time.
Yep.
What happened to Galladay? I don't know. He performed in Detroit even when Stafford was out injured, and he was playing with second and third string quarterback guys that should have barely made the XFL.
Like literally,
Bro,
everyone's scouting report about Kadarius Toney was like, no. Every single Giants YouTuber when they drafted Toney was like, no.
But that's why Gettleman was fired. That's why Gettleman is gone. And now with the new front office in town,
oh shit, George is back.
Nice.
It's fixed. Thank God.
Nice.
Bro, straight up, man. All's fair in love is war. The off season is coming, and I say this to not just Taco, but to anyone. Keep an open mind about about your real fantasy teams. They are not your real fucking holy shit. Your real NFL teams. Keep an open mind about your real NFL teams. Anything can happen. Things can sway. People get hurt, get injured, get traded, get fired, retire. We once upon a time saw a quarterback that we thought was like the next prodigal son in the name of Andrew Luck. And then he was just like, I'm done. You don't know. Nobody knows.
So I just went back and looked at last year's wide receivers drafted when the Giants took Kadarius Toney at 20th overall.
Oh, it was fun.
Players, wide receivers coming after him. Bateman, is he? If you have a healthy Toney, I would still take Kadarius Toney over Bateman.
Tony's been more injured than Bateman.
Yeah. If Kadarius Toney was healthy, I would still take him over.
Bateman's a better receiver. What are you talking about?
Tony.
Yeah,
I'm a Tony hype man. Bobby even knows I was a Tony hype man for a while. But
then you have the Moores, Elijah and Rondell. And the second round.
Rondell Moore would have been an upgrade.
I would take both of them.
Tutu Atwell.
Okay, no, not Tutu.
Not Tutu.
Not Tutu.
Eskridge, I would maybe take. Terrence Marshall, I would probably take.
Saquon, baby, all day.
I think you just have a lot of kick returners in that second round.
The power of Saquon compels you. The power of Saquon compels you.
Josh Palmer, De'Ami Brown, Mari Rodgers.
Yeah, I'd take Josh Palmer. I would take, yeah.
Josh Palmer.
Josh Palmer. I'm not taking Nico Collins over him.
Like, bro, and think about how much.
There's no reason.
We could have got a fucking.
Okay, I wouldn't take Shorts. I would take pretty much almost all the way through like round like Kadarius Toney. I even said it during the offseason last year. I was like, Kadarius Toney's a third round receiver. Kadarius Toney. What happened to DK should have happened to Kadarius Toney.
Tony is super talented, but he has an attitude issue.
He has a fucking attitude issue.
How bad?
And he's so lazy.
Yeah,
he is. Kadarius Toney is so fucking lazy.
Yeah,
like homie would legitimately just be like, "Oh, this play's going to Kyle Pitts. I'm not gonna run my route," and would just not do anything. And it's like, bro, you're definitely supposed to have a route there because everyone else did something but you. And that's why Florida sucks right now. Because that became their culture and that became their, oh, we're Florida and we're so fucking good. No, karma caught up to you. You can't just have life handed to you just because you go to a big school.
I'm on Ross.
The Niners at QB are gonna be fucking interesting. Because it's like, I feel like if I'm the Niners, Trey Lance is the one that's oddball out. Because I feel like Trey Lance is all ball out. It's like, yo,
you got better
Brock,
tape. You have better tape on Brock Purdy than you do Trey Lance.
Yeah, Brock might win me a Super Bowl. Jimmy G's already got me in the playoffs. I mean, like, let's see. Untapped potential, but he has a hothead. Guess what? There have been some hotheads who turn into greats. Yeah, they don't remain a hothead throughout their whole career. And also, like, this is a different NFL. Back then, there wasn't social media. There's social media now.
One, with his rap career, he kind of is a little bit unfocused. And two, he doesn't take good enough care of his body because he's consistently injured. And he has, like, soft tissue injuries. He has, like, hamstrings and stupid stuff like that, which makes you just feel like he's just not dedicated to his craft enough in order for him to be that guy that we all want.
Not only that, I don't need your emotional attitude making my team become a meme.
Yeah,
like who wants that? Like who wants that constantly?
You can't act like Odell at the end, but not put up the Odell numbers at least. Like get the fuck out of here with that.
Dude, I don't want to say that.
At least Odell was fucking
Odell.
Putting up numbers for us.
Act like he didn't. No, you don't even put those two. Don't put those two in the same breath.
Don't put those two in the same breath. Antics, like the antics. Odell became an antic in New York.
He couldn't even be healthy enough to have antics. He
that's the point.
What's worse is like he became a Kansas City Chief, scored a touchdown, faked an injury, got injured with the same fucking hamstring that he faked it, which was the same one that kept him out in New York. You're an idiot. Like you're fucking like you're.
I don't know how his hamstring can be hurt every fucking game. Like, do you not stretch? Do you not drink enough water? Like, are you getting electrolytes? Like, what are you doing?
Honestly, if your body being bigger than what it should and not being able to support a certain frame, muscles go quick. Muscles go real quick. If that's not really how big you're supposed to be, shit snaps pretty easy. And then to your point, especially if you're not hydrated. What if he's really supposed to be smaller than what the fuck he is?
Oh, maybe. Then if that's the case, then he's really fucked. He ain't.
There's a lot. There's a reason why in fighting they say, "What's your walk around weight?" Like, what do you walk around at, and what do you fight at? Those are two totally completely different things.
Yeah, because everyone knows you got to cut weight, but just get on the scale. Then you hydrate the fuck up, and you come into the ring. You got a little bit more weight on you.
More weight, exactly.
On and you feeling right, and yeah, it's a different fight then.
Exactly. Let's go ahead. Let's end this thing. Anybody have any last minute words? We'll be on tonight, or tomorrow. We'll be on tomorrow. And we'll answer some more questions. Game days, more people pull up. AMAs, it's like y'all are tough.
I gotta do something special. So we're looking at for established accounts with BetUS, Happy Bowl season gift. Deposit $200, get $250 back.
That's fucking dope.
Be on the lookout on St. Pat's Twitter.
I'll be dropping that link tomorrow.
Nice.
Happy Bowl season.
Fucking dope. Fucking dope.
Taco, anything?
I mean, if you're telling me that I'm not getting Lamar or Aaron, although I don't want to trade for Aaron, if you're telling me I'm not getting Lamar, I'm probably gonna say let's roll. I mean, I might be interested in Baker if you can get me the right wide receiver, but I'm probably gonna say Danny Dimes. Come back.
Who we pick? Really quick. Who are we picking on tonight's game? Or tomorrow night's game? Pat, give me your pick.
Who do you got? Give me Jacksonville.
Give me the Jets and I must have it. No, fuck it. Give me the Jags. I take it back. Give me the Jags.
I'm taking the Jags. We'll see y'all later. Cheers to me. Cheers to you all the Rumboyz and girls. What it do? Peace.
Holy shit.